I should have put that after my sermon. Shoot.
Being perfect.
Yes. It is rare that you get to experience these kinds of things in your life, even as a congregation, even as an individual, where people can appreciate and show appreciation. And so I am grateful this morning. Thank you. You know, what is sabbatical? Jane alluded to that earlier. It is an old word, and it is an old tradition that many universities and religions still honor. And it comes from the Judeo-Christian tradition. Sabbath means a day of rest. And it is, of course, in the mythical, metaphorical sense, the day God rested after creating the world, the seventh day. In Leviticus, the word is mentioned again as a year of rest for those who labored in the fields for 7 years, that on the seventh year they were to stop working. So in Judaism, 7 is a holy number. 7 means completion. Now, fortunately for Unitarian Universalist clergy, we don't have to wait 7 years for an extended break. We can Sabbath every 4 years. And by the way, the length of time of a sabbatical is 1 month per year. 1 month per year served, up to 6 months. So I could have taken 6 months. That did not feel right to me. I chose a 3-month sabbatical and 1 month of study leave. So I'll be away for 3 months and on call for 1 month in July, slowly returning August the 1st. And believe it or not, this is my first sabbatical as an UU minister, not just at this congregation. I also served another congregation for 4 years. So I am overdue, and I am excited and ready. And you are ready. The timing couldn't be more right. And for those of you who've been here over the last 6 years, you really know what I'm talking about. We've been through so much change and transition over the years. There really wasn't space for me to take 3, 4, 5, 6 months of sabbatical. As a congregation, we were always reacting to something important in the life of the church. Let me take you back. Reverend Christina left June 2017. Fred also retired that same year in December 2017. Then in June 2018, we were all traumatized with the sudden death of Wendy Winters. And then that was, by the way, during a 2.5-year interim ministry period with Reverend Kathleen that started in 2018. Let me not forget that our longtime business administrator, Susan Eckert, also retired in 2018. Then in March 2019, the pandemic hit us, and the arrival of our new called Minister of Equal Standing, Reverend Anastasia Zinke, happened in May 2022. That's a lot of transition. And I needed to be your rock. I needed to represent stability in transient times, and I have done that. But now, nearly 2 years into this new ministry configuration with Reverend Anastasia and I feel the time is right for me to take a sabbatical. You will have an experienced minister and executive leading you who is super smart, compassionate, our theme this month. She is full of integrity and honesty, and she's caring and full of positivity. She loves our children and youth and has many creative ways of growing our souls and our membership. Get to know her more during this time away. And because of all of her awesomeness, I know I can depart with peace in my heart that you have another rock to hold on to. And you know, Anastasia, I will miss you. I do believe you make me better. You affirm my humanity and always remind me that I am awesome too. I will miss your dry sense of humor, and especially how I can't always tell if you're playing or if you're serious. Are you playing? I will miss your good memory. You have the memory of an elephant. You better not do her wrong. She will remember. I will miss your stories. You're such a great storyteller. And I will miss your opinions. They are many. I mean that with love. You have a lot of good ideas. I will miss our staff. We have such a good team. Everyone is so committed to the job. Everyone loves serving this community. I'm so proud of the growth of our team. And we finally have a full staff in place. Amen. But things won't be the same while I'm gone. They will be different, but in a good way. You will miss my booming voice, echoing down the hall, my singing on Sundays, and of course, my mystical rantings about numbers and signs and synchronicity. But church life will go on. Things won't be perfect, they rarely are, but things will be as they should be. That's enough. What will I be doing? You've already heard that. I'll be using my Sabbath to travel a bit, to rest from the rigors of ministry, to write, meditate, reflect, among other forms of, spiritual growth and development. A sabbatical is also known as clergy renewal for obvious reasons, like the soil that needs to replenish itself after overuse. Sabbath allows religious leaders the time to look forward and backward, time to appreciate and heal, time to renew their souls. Because you may not know this, but ministry is hard. Taking on the suffering and sometimes projection of others continually is exhausting. Carrying the weight of it all weighs on you and your family. Managing the hundreds of details necessary for successful ministry is laborious. So rest is required. It's required for all of us. And it's time for me to rest. But I expect to come back supercharged and ready for the next chapter in our ministry together. My dream for this congregation remains unfulfilled. So I believe there is much work for us to do. We're really just now getting started, as we are still actually in a pandemic. But I'm so proud how we've managed to do a construction project while in a pandemic. It says a lot about who we are. In many ways, we are literally and figuratively rebuilding what it means to be a postmodern, liberal religious institution. It's an exciting challenge. We've had many successes, many good things to celebrate over the years, but we still have a lot to do. We have to diversify our pews with all due speed. I've been saying that Sunday after Sunday. That is where we are now, not talking about it, but doing it, becoming a more racially diverse congregation. And why? Because that's what Unitarian Universalism is and does. As a community, we have to become more invitational and welcoming to strangers, because that's what Unitarian Universalism is and does. We have to become more generous, of course, with our time and talent and treasure, because we can do so much more to help our operations run more smoothly. What does a postmodern 21st century Unitarian Universalist congregation look like, act like, feel like? How can we use our space to serve you and others better? How can we make a bigger difference in our community? How can we go from good to great? These are some of the questions I'll be asking myself, and perhaps you can ask yourself in the coming months while I'm away. For me, when I think about our outdoor space and I listen to the kids, we can hear them playing on our playground, the 10 acres, or however many acres it is. I see it as a spiritual campus of activities and actions for you and your families, for people around the communities that we serve, Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. Our land can be a place people come during the week to hang out and read and meditate or come to a class or do some gardening or walking. It can be a campus of actions and activities based on our values and principles. And you've heard me say this, I still envision some kind of school on our land and wellness services offered here, and a community garden, I've mentioned that we can all support and eat from. I see us as a space for helping people with their emotional literacy and their racial literacy and their faith formation, spiritual development. This is a spiritual community, not a church, a spiritual community. And we need a clear vision for our building and our lands and our programs that is unified and aligned with our overall vision and mission. What do we want to become in the next 5 years or 10 years? Thinking about that excites me, and I will be thinking about that. And I will continue to say until I'm blue in the face, even though you won't be able to tell that I'm blue in the face, I will continue to say that we can be the religion for our time, can be the religion for our time, when so many are turning away from church. Churches are dying. We can be that place for spiritual seekers that nourishes and challenges them. We can be that place where all generations and ages and sexual orientations come and celebrate life and love without damnation or toxic negativity, or I like to say even toxic positivity. You know, you are all happy when we don't discuss evil and its ramifications. I love that we Unitarian Universalists, we keep it real. We face despair and evil and ugliness, and we do what we can do to transmute it into love. I love that we live in the world as it is, but also we fight for the world that should be. I also envision a place and a people that help others heal their life hurts and traumas. I see our community as safe space and bold space where people are affirmed and challenged. How do we tell our UU story more to the public? How do we let our light shine brighter? Which makes me think about our social justice work. We have to figure out a cohesive plan there too. What should our social justice work look like? How do we engage in environmental justice or immigration justice? We can't do everything. How do we determine when to say yes and when to say no to something? We need a vision for our social action in the community. There are miles to go before we sleep, a lot of work still to do for us to realize our vision of a beloved community. I have shared some of my vision. I want you to think about what your vision is and how we can meld these ideas together into one cohesive vision. We can't do everything, but we can find ways to work collectively toward a common goal. What else? What else? Well, have I told you lately that I love you? I really appreciate you. You are a bunch of awesome human beings. All of you, every last one of you. You're smart and witty and funny and intelligent and so well read and compassionate and gentle, generous with your time, talent, and treasure. You've made me a better minister, a better person, a better human being, and that's why I've been here so long. That's why I stay. The best is yet to come for you and for us. You're such a blessing. You've been there for me, for this congregation in tough times, and for each other, for your ministers. Highs and lows, you've been there. I'm so thankful for you. I love this congregation, and my life is full partly because of you. Thank you. And last, but certainly not least, to my wife, Joni, I want to thank you for your patience and forgiveness as I know that I have sacrificed a lot of time over the years with this ministry, because you know this is my life's calling and my life's work. Thank you for standing by me even in the rough times. You have been my rock. You have wiped away tears from my eyes on many occasions. You make me a better man. This ministry has sometimes been a burden on you too. So this break will be good for us. My promise to you is that I will do my best to be present with you during this time away. And I want to say publicly that I thank you for everything you've done for my ministry and for me and for our family, and I love you. What else is there to say? See you later.